It can happen in an instant. Suddenly, everything changes. It could be a natural disaster. It could be violence. If there's an emergency, we all need to know what to do. At WVC, we're all responsible for safety. By knowing what to do, by practicing and preparing for emergencies, you'll know how to stay safe, and you'll be able to help others. This video was created to help you know what to do.
In an emergency or during a practice drill, you'll receive an emergency text alert on your cell phone. You may also receive an emergency email notification. In some situations, you may also hear the building team leader give verbal warnings. There are many things you'll be asked to do in an emergency. There may be an evacuation, there could be a lockdown, or you could be asked to drop and cover in the case of an earthquake. Remember, you'll continue to get instructions through the mass notification system until the all clear message is sent. The all clear message will be sounded at the end of every drill or emergency, with the exception of an internal lockdown.
Each emergency scenario is different. If you're ordered to evacuate, do it quickly but carefully. Walk to the closest safe exit if you're able. Help others who need help. Do not use the elevators. Only take your belongings if it is safe to do so. Once you've left the building, go to your building's designated evacuation assembly area. Stay off of the roads. Wait for the all clear message from your building team leader.
If there's a person causing a threat inside our building, we call this an internal threat lockdown. First, make sure that everyone knows that there is a lockdown. Say or shout lockdown, close and lock all doors. If you can do it safely, gather people together, especially those that may be in danger. Follow the instructions carefully. Close the doors and lock them. Be ready to help others. Keep inside blinds open, but block all views from hallways into rooms. Lock the windows and then go to a safe area and take cover. Stay out of sight. Leave computers on and cell phones on vibrate. Stay quiet and stay in place until a uniformed officer enters your space. Follow their directions. If a person is causing a threat outside of a building, we call this an external threat lockdown. First, make sure everyone knows that there is a lockdown. Say or shout external threat lockdown. Close and lock all perimeter doors unless already done automatically. Close the outside blinds and business is carried on inside the building as normal.
You may be asked to shelter in place. This could happen if there is hazardous materials released in the area. The goal is to limit the air movement. Close the doors. If there are fumes, cover your mouth and nose with clothing. Facilities will shut down the ventilation during the emergency.
It's been quite a while since there was a major earthquake to affect the Wenatchee area, but the fact that there was an earthquake here before of a substantial size means eventually there will be another one, so we need to be prepared. What should you do in the event of an earthquake? If there's an earthquake, there won't be any warning. There won't be an alert. You must know what to do, and you must act fast. Drop down, get under a table or another sturdy piece of furniture to protect your head. Stay away from windows and heavy objects that could fall on you, and don't leave the building while it's still shaking. But as soon as the shaking stops, walk to the closest exit. Don't use the elevators. Leave the building. If you can, help others who need help. Don't take personal items unless it's safe to do that. Go to the designated evacuation assembly area as long as it is away from trees, overhead power lines, and beyond the building's collapse zone, which is 1.5 times the height of the building. And remember, there could be aftershocks, so stay in place until you get the message, all clear.
At Wenatchee Valley College, we're proud of the diversity of our students, faculty, and staff. In order to ensure the safety of those with disabilities during an emergency, here are some tips. If someone has mobility issues, ask if you can assist them. If someone has a vision disability, ask if they want to hold your arm, especially if there's a crowd or objects in the way. If someone is deaf or hard of hearing, get their attention by eye contact, waving, or gently touching their shoulder or arm. Use gestures, point, or provide a brief written note explaining what is happening. If a person with a disability isn't able to evacuate the building, escort them safely to the closest designated area of refuge. These include the stairwells of the 2nd and 3rd floors of the Residence Hall, the 2nd and 3rd floors of Wenatchee Hall, the 3rd floor of the library, and the northeast corner of the library's 1st floor. After arriving at the area of refuge, Evacuate the building and immediately report the location of that person to your building team leader so emergency responders can help them.
WVC has assigned 2 building team leaders to each floor and building on campus, and they'll work with our incident management team, who in turn coordinates with the incoming emergency responders. Facility employees will disseminate across campus and provide radio communications to each building team leader. During a drill or a real emergency, the building team leaders will don these orange vests and assist with emergency procedures. They are each in charge of their assigned evacuation assembly areas and report directly to the incident management team. They're responsible for accountability, information sharing, and general information and coordination. During an emergency, they can become your most valuable asset. Emergencies can trigger strong emotional responses, and the members of our counseling team will be available to assist should the need arise.
That's what WVC is doing. Here's what you should be doing. For the safety of our students, all faculty members, full and part-time, must know how to lead and perform the procedures for lockdown, evacuation, and drop, cover, and hold. This could be especially important during evening or weekend classes when there's not as much staff support at the college.
Basic emergency kit can help you during an emergency. Learn how to put together your own kit for home, work, and while in transit. Visit www.ready.gov for more information. In a drill or an emergency, others will look to you for direction. Be calm, be decisive, be ready. Remember, every building at the college has at least 1 building team leader. In an emergency, they will be wearing bright colored safety vests for easy identification. They'll be happy to answer your questions and help you learn more.
You'll also find excellent information online from the WVC website. Go to Commons, click on A through Z, scroll down to Safety, click on Shared Documents. We are a learning college, and it's important that we all learn what to do in an emergency. At WVC, we're all responsible for keeping our college safe.